My name is Claire Casseus, and this
And
is my niece,
yeah.
Clarencia Wheaton. We're here today with you, and we want to welcome you to the Denise Newsome Show, the show that wants to give credit where credit is due. We're here tonight to talk to you about ourselves and however we want you to do and however you want us to do. Don't forget, we do have a commercial break at 8:30, and then we're going to switch over to Clarencia, but we're going to start with myself. After the commercial break, we'll want to really thank our sponsors, so we'll give you an opportunity to to speak to you about the people who helped make this possible. So we are going to start with Clarencia asking me a few questions, and she better be
Yeah.
gentle. But we're here tonight, and we thank you for joining us. We hope you get something out of this. We really like sharing, and really like connecting with people on many different levels. And you'll learn a lot about us tonight, I hope.
So I'm very excited because this is my aunt. She's my godmom. She's my shero, my role model. And there's so much about her that a lot of people don't know. Her struggles, her journey, her faith walk, how God has helped her, her visions. And there's just so much that I really hope you guys can connect to her story that may inspire you, that may give you some sense of direction. And so I'm going to jump right in. So my auntie, my favorite person, you started My Power Enterprises. I know that comes from a very heart-filled place. So, can you tell us a little bit about what happened to you, especially your accident and some steps that led up to starting My Power Enterprises? Like, where does that come from?
Um, so, um, Ironically, at the time I had my accident when I was 24 years old, My Power Enterprises was not on my horizon.
Mm-hmm.
It was not even a thing for me. Entrepreneurship was something that I knew about. My family has always been a series of entrepreneurs, but I was mostly focused on actually going to law school, a political career, and things like that. So after the car accident in 1989, I broke my neck and I became a paraplegic. And then, by God's grace, despite reports of doom and gloom, I managed to recover to the point of hemiplegic. So, which just basically means one half of my body is paralyzed versus the other, which is fully mobile. I have something that is called Brown-Séquard syndrome, and the Brown-Séquard syndrome means that I have an incomplete spinal injury, and it's like a really weird thing because um, the half of me that is mobility challenged has full pain and temperature sensation, while the other half of me that has the full mobility has a much reduced pain and temperature sensation.
Wow.
So one side feels and one side moves, but together they work. So to God be the glory.
That's it.
So moving many years later, I changed my trajectory a lot, and I eventually, once my daughter got to college, I went back to school and I decided to do several business degrees. So I am a double bachelor in business and marketing. I'm a double MBA in project management and marketing. I also have a paralegal degree, an associate's paralegal degree. And then I went to real estate school and got a real estate license. I've always loved real estate, architecture, that kind of thing. I love creating opportunity. And so with that, My Power Enterprises was born in 2017. It is My Power Enterprises because I believe in the power of me. I believe in the power of rehabilitation. I believe in the power of hope. I believe in the power of new beginnings. And so I believe that uh, with power, with an internal power, everything is possible. And power actually stands for profit over wages, earning residuals.
All right, say that again.
It's profits over wages, earning residuals.
Amen.
Because we all know the way things are. If the pandemic taught us nothing, it taught us that we are all expendable.
Yes.
Yes. It is sadly and also necessary for businesses to function. You know, you die this morning, and by 3 p.m. they're interviewing for your position. Correct. Because they still have to conduct business. So, you know, at the same time, if you look at somebody the wrong way, you're out, and that's, you know, your family's bread and butter. And so I believe in the strength of entrepreneurship. I also believe in work. I believe in you know, corporate America and all of that. But at the same time, I also think that everyone should have a little something that they do on the side for themselves. Absolutely. You know, something that brings you passion, something that brings you joy. And so I have several businesses under the umbrella of My Power Enterprises. One of my particular favorites is my newest, which is Power Life Skills. It's a 501(c) nonprofit organization designed to assist in the reduction and the rehoming of the unhomed and the underhomed. We have a transitional home here in Ocala, Florida. I opened my first one this year, and to God be the glory. I am so excited about the growth and the potential for growth to help people change their lives, to find affordable living situations that could change their trajectory, give them an opportunity at a second chance, a second footing. One of the other things I do is I am a coach. I am a business coach. I am a business consultant. I also do life coaching. And so I'm also entering into the realm of health coaching, because in addition to my Brown Sicard, I also have Sjogren's syndrome. And in 2019, I was living my best life. I was the fittest I had ever been. I was the strongest I had ever been. And then the pandemic came. And at the time, to be honest, my doctors clearly told me, if you get COVID with your immune issues, you likely won't survive it. Well, much like the paralysis rumors that were greatly exaggerated, I have had COVID 3 times, do not want it again. It almost took me out 3 times, but I'm still here. And simultaneously, I had pneumonia, RSV, sinus infections, and okay. And so the last couple of months have been crucial health-wise for me. And so I really focused on my health aspects, and I was able to restore my body, my strength, through supplements and nutritional changes. I am an avid prep cooker. I used to be before. And I lost my way during the pandemic because I was home a lot. You know, so I didn't have to, and I wasn't as cautious about the things that I ate and drank. And so now I'm back on track, and I'm glad to say that it's working. You know, it's working. So
that was a lot.
That was a lot, right?
That was a lot.
Don't get me talking.
I was like, whoa. So that was a lot. But as you can see, she's so tenacious. She has this fighter spirit. And so where does that come from? Because not everybody can handle one thing after another. Someone saying that you will never walk again, and you sitting there like, I bet you I will. And so, you know, saying that you'll get COVID and die, I bet you I won't. So where does this tenacity come from? Because it's so, you know, we all need a piece of that. So how can we want to grab a piece of that. So where does that come from?
Well, I will tell you that my strength comes in a lot of ways from my family. My family was there to support me through it all. And I cannot say that enough. I remember at the time of my accident, I was in rehab in New York, and they would come down every day and support me and help me and encourage me. And I couldn't let them down. And I couldn't let me down. You know, and they gave me the strength and the will to go on. And I've always been a bulldog. Like, I don't take no for an answer. My daughter will tell me, like, if I say I'm going on a diet, she's like, you know, you're not going to, because you don't like no, not even from yourself. So, and that's very true. I do not like, I hate dream killers. I despise someone who tells people what they can't do. And so very much a part of who I am is trying to encourage people to do the things that they have been perceived not to be able to do. And so a part of that is in my new walk of encouraging, coaching, and working with people with disabilities. Ironically, I've been disabled 35 years. And as I was telling Cassie, I only this year realized, like, hey, you're disabled.
So
like,
tell us about that epiphany, because it's, that stepping into who we are and acknowledging it, because sometimes we don't like to believe certain things, but that may be God's actual, will for our lives, that he's going to show himself strong. So how did that epiphany happen? I know you said, before, and I think that was really credited to your strength when you didn't acknowledge it, because it helped you push past those barriers. Right. Not saying that, when people wanted to put a label on you, because back before there were so many more advances as today, if you were disabled, you were kind of a cast off, or they would put you in a box, or there was limited funding, limited availability of help. So yeah, a lot of people didn't want that stigma because it wasn't positive.
Right.
So I could understand, saying, no, I am fine. I can do things in my own will. But now, 2023, you just had this epiphany, like, this is who I am. And how did that come about?
I think in a lot of ways, it's just like you said, God lets you go through certain things, and he gives you the strength to go through them when you go through them. And I believe we all have assignments.
Yeah.
And I know, back in the day, my assignment was the young people that was in my life. I have a passion for young people, particularly teenagers, because, even though, like I said, I do credit my family for a lot of my strength. A lot of my struggles happened in my teen years. A lot of outcasting and bullying and things like that, and that was a catalyst for me to find inner strength for myself. And so a lot of that was pushing forward on that. As far as going forward, I'm also a realtor, like I said, and my very first real estate client was a person with disabilities.
Wow.
And I acknowledged that she was disabled, and I acknowledged our comparison at the time. However, she was in a wheelchair, and she had such a tenacious spirit.
Yeah.
She was a warrior. I really appreciated her strength, but I remember the difficulty we had finding her a home. And so with that, at the time, I had it in my heart that would be my focus, on making sure that people didn't have those challenges, because, I love a good fight. And so I think I lost my way somewhere along the line. And I think my epiphany came with God's redirection.
Yes.
Back to, this was the mission that I set you on. Earlier this year, I went on a small sabbatical, and I shut in. I went away for a couple of days, for a week, basically. And I just had some me and God time. And it was a clear reckoning for me that he said, I broke you to help others because you were strong enough to handle it. And I need you to use that strength. And I tell people that service is my superpower.
Yeah.
I will grab a hold like a pit bull to help somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so in that, I know that my service is to other people with disabilities or with challenges, whether it is transitional housing or things like that. But I am the shero of second chances.
Yeah.
Because I believe everybody, I've had more than my share of second chances. I stand here before you, and I assure you, if you knew my true story, you'd be like, what? But, we all have a story. And the beautiful thing is we all have a birthing out of our story into our new story. And so my second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe this is my 19th chapter. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm walking it out.
I'm right there with you.
And I'm walking it out. And so I really love what I do. I love serving my community. I love serving in my church. I go to Draw Men Ministries Church here in Ocala, Florida. And I am under the auspices of Bishop Eric J. Lightsey and Pastor Royan Lightsey. And they have been a formidable force in my life. I've always gone to church, but I've never been a part of church in that way, so now it's like that relationship that I have with God that they help me foster.
Amen.
It gives me a voice that is different than the voices that were in my head before.
Right.
So my strength comes in a lot of ways from that spiritual strength and that spiritual family. And it also comes in the fact that God continuously motivates me to help other people. He constantly puts people in my path who need my help.
Oh, yeah.
And I am so godly proud of being able to answer that call.
Right.
To answer that call. And so we have a new project we're working on now with Power Life Skills that hopefully we'll be able to share with you more soon.
Yes.
But it will change the game for people in this community who are people with disabilities, who are people who are in need, especially my veterans.
Yes.
Who have given, really who have given and who have given and who have given. In my mind, it's the words homeless and veteran should never be in the same sentence.
Right, correct.
Homeless, veteran, and disabled absolutely should never be in the same sentence. And so they are one of my major target markets. Mm-hmm. And I am here to say that, I look forward to picking up that gauntlet and running with that and changing their lives as far as different entrepreneurial adventures and things like that. Also, I'm looking to start a teen coaching program for at-risk youth who not necessarily are college bound.
Yeah.
But who want to do something different, who we can save before they get caught up in the game.
Right.
Instead of trying to backtrack and get them out of gangs and street violence and things like that. I mean, right now we have so many different accounts of people getting shot and killed in our community. It is ridiculous. And I mean, we practically live in, a little idyllic country town who is growing and blossoming, but so is the crime and the violence. Mm-hmm. And we have to stem that off because our children are dying in the streets. And so for me, I think if you give them something to do, then they'll have something to do.
Yeah,
outlets, and so I believe in teaching them entrepreneurship and conflict resolution and effective listening. And right now we're running that with our Vacation Bible School at our church this year. And we're adding the biblical connotations to that as well to strengthen them in the faith as well. And so I look forward to getting a group of teens together and see if we can't change their lives before they go off the rails.
Right. Right. Wow. I mean, there's so many slices of the cake and there's so much that you want to accomplish. God's giving you a really big vision.
Yes.
So it's like, how do you manage, we're going to bring it personal. How do you manage so many pieces of the puzzle to complete this big vision? Like, do you ever feel overwhelmed? How do you, organize that in your brain? Like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or do you do a little bit of this, a little bit of Hope House, Power Enterprises, Health Coach? Like, do you do bits and pieces or do you take one down at a time? Like, how would you take that apart? Because a lot of us have big visions. We want to do a lot of things. We see the need. We want to feel the need. And our heart is there. But it's like, well, it seems almost so many things that it's overwhelming to even start. So how do you approach that?
I think with my Power Enterprises being the parent company, I always knew that there would be many branches to that tree.
Right.
And so everything that I do is power life skills, power youth, power coaching, And so all of it ties in. And so I really look at it as a holistic system of services. So each one gives into the different veins.
Right.
So
that's good.
I'm not doing this and it's starving this one. This one is feeding that one. This one is feeding that one.
So
they work together.
Yes,
they work together for the greater good.
Yeah.
And so I love that because even with, for example, in my real estate, I always try to encourage my buyers or renters, about entrepreneurship, about this, about, about coaching. We talk about health. We talk about wellness, in moving forward and helping people with disabilities. There's a, hey, you don't have to be defined by this. Here is how you can start a business right where you are.
Right.
Here is where you can live in a unit that is adaptable to you. Here, so it all ties together.
So you create the veins that
feed each other.
Yeah.
That feed each other. So
I like that.
It works as one body, as the word tells us. We are one body with many members, and so it's the same way. For Power Enterprises, my Power Enterprises is one body with many members, and they all work together cohesively for my ultimate plan of ultimate service, because service is who I am.
So I have a question. So when someone is establishing their business, they should now look at that bigger picture? Because I know, for instance, myself, I'm now understanding the bigger picture, which we'll get to, but should the person that wants to start the business, say, they want to be a barber, should they sit down and think about that bigger picture? Because sometimes it's hard to add at the end, but to have that umbrella idea in the beginning might make it easier to, maneuver as they build their businesses.
I would say yes. I would say yes, because, in true entrepreneurship is never one thing.
I'm learning that.
It's never one thing.
I really
am. If you work your business as it's one thing, it's an isolated vein, then when that business is not flowing in the way, you have to then rebrand, repurpose, redirect. If you're looking at, if you're a barber, okay, what works well. Try to think about product lines.
Yes.
If you're a barber, try to think about what would be different about this comb that would make it easier. How could these blades work differently? How could, I know one of a friend of mine, he was a barber, and now he started this business called Cut Different. I think it's Cuts Different.
Yeah.
And he is a 50, he has young people that he's training, to go into barbering, to take them out of, chaos and put them into substance and structure. And so, it's when you pivot in your business, and your business grows and it flows, and it feeds other areas, instead of just saying, well, I'm going to make water bottles. Okay. Well, Pepsi started making Pepsi. Pepsi makes everything under the sun now.
Correct.
And
Correct.
so
you gotta have that vision.
You got to have that vision. You have to have a pivot. You have to have an alternative. You have to have, different ways to reach different people at different times, because businesses will all stagnate at some point. Right. At some point, you're going to reach a cap. And when you reach that cap, doesn't mean that cap's not going to open up again later. But in the meantime, you still have to flow somewhere else.
I'm learning that.
And so you have to learn to augment your business and never pivot away from it, but just pivot the business so that it enhances something else, And so that is, for me, the key to always think, okay, you're starting with this. What else can I do?
Right. So we're almost done with our interview. So I have two great questions before we're done. One, what is some advice to new entrepreneurs, those who are thinking about starting business? And then lastly, how can the community help you? You've heard that she's so involved. She has the Power Enterprises with life coaching, real estate, the Hope House for underprivileged individuals, whether it be teenagers, veterans, whether it be those that are getting out of prison or jail. Really, how can we help you establish those things, or just donate, or how can we be a part of it?
Well, always, you can always contact me on Facebook or Instagram, inbox me, whatever. If you any way you want to support, we'll be glad to take the support. My advice for someone who wants to start something is just do it. No matter who tells you you can't do it, no matter, I mean, imagine if I listened when they told me I could never walk again. I would have never tried. I would have never done the work because I had to do my own rehab. And then when I started moving, they joined in.
Right.
Wow. And so just do it. Don't worry about failure. Don't worry about support. Just do it. And if it fails, do it again. And if it fails, do it again. And if it fails, do it again. Just do it differently.
That's so encouraging.
Just do it differently. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
That is so encouraging. I just am so amazed at all that you have accomplished and all that you're still striving for. I mean, it's just amazing how you keep pressing. And that's why she's my shero. Like I tell people she's my shero. There's not a lot of people that can get diagnoses that are meant to be debilitating and look them in the face and say, devil is a liar. I'm moving forward. And not only does she, become a catalyst for herself, but so many around. I mean, you'd be amazed at what she does. And even just accepting now, saying I am disabled, it's like it comes with some empowerment, it
really did. It was freeing. It was freeing. I realized that for 35 years in my mind, I did little things that would almost hide, who I was or not acknowledge. And it is so freeing. Yeah. It is so freeing to say, you know what? I'm cracked, but I'm not broken. I'm cracked, but I'm not broken. I'm healable.
Yes,
I'm
and
healable.
It's so much more than just this.
Yeah, this did not destroy me.
Yeah,
this did not destroy me, and that's freeing.
Yes,
that's freeing.
Yeah, we have a saying like, "We'll just take your brain, please." Like, can we have one of those? They sell those on Amazon because she is truly such a remarkable person. So again, you can reach out to her on Facebook. She's very accessible. She answers. You can send a message. You'll get an email. You get a phone number. You can come out, see what she's doing. Very, very accessible. So please, interact is what I'm trying to say. Interact, because a lot of times we see things, we hear things, but we just sit on the sidelines and say that's great for her. But there's so much we can do. And even the little things, whether it be donating socks or shirts, whether it be, just showing up to volunteer for the teenagers, whether it is, you decide to do a cooking class, things, you have skill sets and they can be added to people who are in need. So please reach out to her. Please, be a part of the process, because all of us together, we can really make some great changes.
Yes.
So, all right, we're just about going to our commercial break. So thank you.
So after the commercial break, we'll come back and we'll tell you a little bit about sponsors.
Dr. Kiana Battle gives service from the heart, focusing on training, education, and professional development. Specialty areas include grief and loss, trauma, informed practice, policy development, grant writing development, public school social work education, professional presentation, and youth and adolescent development. Consulting service fees are based on specific specialty areas. There is no charge for the initial consulting. You can contact Dr. Kiana Battle today by emailing her at info@kbattleconsulting.com or visit her website at www.kbattleconsulting.com.
Hi, thank you for staying with us. I just wanted to thank our sponsors, Dr. Kiana Battle, Tanya Jackson, the author Robert Wilmo, and UOU LLC for their love and support. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So we thank them for supporting us at the Denise Newsome Show. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome my beautiful niece. As you heard all her accolades, she's my biggest cheerleader. Her name is Clarencia Wheaton. Yes. And, I love her to the moon and beyond. And so I am super excited to introduce to you Clarencia and the silhouette body sculpting.
Yes, yes.
So tell us, what is body sculpting?
Oh, that's been such a great question because it's, I guess, relatively new to the market, but it's been around for a long time. So body sculpting is a non-surgical way to break down body fat and also to do body enhancements. It's really great because it helps work with you as you are gaining your health, as you are exercising. This goes along with you. So it's a natural way to help boost people's results so they can get results a lot faster, but it keeps them encouraged, and also to help with the stretch marks or sagging skin or wrinkles that, sometimes exercise can't take out, as well as cellulite.
Okay. Is that going to hurt?
No. It's no pain at all. So one of the greatest things about silhouette body sculpting and getting it established. So for me, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse since 2011, and I worked mostly in nursing homes and with the elderly. And one of the things that drew my passion was the fact that in their health conditions, they couldn't go to the restroom as they wanted. They couldn't feed themselves. They couldn't clothe themselves. So, I knew that there was nothing I could particularly do for them at that moment. But I thought to myself, you know what? I can help the younger generation. I can go after them. And so while I was going into the nursing, I also simultaneously did personal training. A little bit of story about me. I used to be obese myself. I struggled with weight, insecurity, so many other things. And so when I lost 60 pounds in, I guess, 2017, it really was, or not 2017, 2006. 2006, I lost 60 pounds. And it really was just an epiphany to me that it can be done. It can be done, because a lot of us were told we're big boned. A lot of us are told that this is just how I am. We look to the left, to the right, and we don't see any difference. So for me, when I took on that challenge for myself, for my health, and I lost the weight, I was like, man, this is possible for everyone. So fast forward to 2013, a few years after my nursing license, and just seeing what was out there, I started doing personal training. A lot of my work with personal training, which I absolutely love. I love helping people get healthy, but sometimes people would quit because they weren't having the results as fast as they wanted, so it was, how do I keep people motivated to keep moving forward with their fitness journey when they're not seeing the results or they're hitting plateaus? And then through prayer, because God is definitely a centerpiece of my life, through prayer and talking to God, he, really, I do a lot of screenshots. So I had screenshot a class about body sculpting, and through prayer, God brought it back to my remembrance. And so then when I looked into it and took the class and saw that it worked, I knew this is what I need for the community, because a lot of people at this time were, especially I started silhouette body sculpting in 2021. So around that time, post-pandemic, surgeries were on a rise for body modifications. So the BBLs, the tummy tucks, the facelift, a lot of those things. And unfortunately, some people were going to places that were not licensed, that did not have healthy practices, and were suffering. And, they want the body, but, it's achievable. And I wanted to give an alternative that was not surgical. So that really sparked my heart for silhouette body sculpting, to give a natural alternative. It's no pain, no downtime, really therapeutic. And it's just a nice way to add that to your already fitness goals and fitness journey, to help enhance and to give you the results you're looking for at a quicker rate.
And before body sculpting, when she was doing the fitness, she was my personal coach.
Yeah.
She was my personal trainer. And when I tell you, this body was tight. She had me rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And so post pandemic, when I got sick, she also helped me with the body sculpting, because it's not just about weight reduction.
Yeah.
She helped me in that I had really bad sciatic pain and really bad muscular pain from COVID attacking my central nervous system. And she said, hey, let's try this.
Try cupping.
And we started cupping, and it was a game changer. It was a game changer. And so, I know, people think, oh, just to be cute. No, it was life-changing. It was really, really something that helped. So there are health benefits. And I know that you do packages for people who have post-surgery,
yes.
with the BBLs and things. BBL?
Yes.
BBLs. With the BBLs, I know you offer that package as well, because I know people who have had the surgery and who have had, reduction surgery, but yet, they're ineffective as far as how their results are cosmetically.
Right.
And I know you've helped people do that. Tell us about that a little bit.
That's a great question, because what do you do? I've had surgery. I don't like can I get sculpting even though I've had a BBL? Yes, you can. I love working with people who have decided it's any way that you want to achieve your goals. That's your personal right. And I just want to be the person that will give you anything you're looking for, whether it be personal training, fitness classes, post-operative care, whether it be sculpting, whether it be body enhancements or cupping. I really wanted to be able to help an individual in all these little realms in these areas. So if you've had BBL, tummy tuck, there is post-operative care. A lot of people don't realize, and maybe your doctor didn't tell you, that you need certain massages. It's called a lymphatic massage. It helps to relieve that excess fluid, the swollen that you feel, the swelling that you feel. It helps to relieve that. It also helps to remove the toxins and put it into your lymph nodes, which is a filtration system. And then also the massage helps to keep your contours. So these are all the things that I've learned that I can just be of a service to my community by helping them no matter which way they're going to achieve their body goals. But post-operative care is very important. If you're thinking about surgery, please talk to your surgeon about post-operative care. A lot of people miss out on that, and that's where they have the fibroids. That's where they have the lumps. That's where they may have their contours aren't what they're looking for, or they lose the contours. It's because they're not knowing that they need post-operative care. They need those massages, and it's really great to speak to a body sculptor. People go to massage therapists, which is great, but with the sculpting, we're able to work with your body. We're able to understand through different therapies, different massages, how to keep your contours. We may offer you fajas, or I may offer you faja, or different types of compression devices to keep your contours and to also help enhance what you've already done. So it is so much with silhouette body sculpting is actually so much more that sometimes, like my aunt, we're cut from the same cloth, that there's a lot of branches to silhouette body sculpting.
Absolutely. And one of the additional branches that we've been talking about, I'm putting her on the spot. She is going to be doing a lot more physical fitness courses for people with disabilities.
Yes.
And so, of course, obviously that's a passion for me. And she is very passionate about me, as you have all heard. Yeah. And so I know that I am excited to see her go out into that community and serve that community, because what she does is truly a service. And, people would say, oh, well, how is body sculpting a service? Because when you look good, when you feel good, you look good, you do better, you're more productive. And we want society to create more productive individuals, right? And so we're looking at, something where you're enhancing someone's self-esteem and you're pouring into that person.
Yeah.
And I've been on your table.
Yeah.
I know the whole feel of the room, the meditation,
Yeah,
the atmosphere, the atmosphere, the aromatherapy, the music, the conversation,
yes,
you know, the encouragement,
yes,
you know, and the support. And, you know, we often don't take those things as a priority in our lives.
Yeah.
But I know that, you know, particularly women
yeah,
who have been, you know, through so much with the body dysmorphia and you know the negativity,
right.
you know, and always this portrayal of who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be. Like, hey, I woke up this way. No, you didn't.
Right,
No, you didn't.
And that's one of the biggest catalysts of who I am and what I incorporate, because silhouette body sculpting also offers the fitness. So, because that's a true passion of mine. I love personal training. I love fitness. And it was actually working with my aunt that really just solidified that for me. I never forget when she called me and said, hey, you know, I need to strengthen my legs. I feel like I'm losing mobility. Can you help me? And let me tell you, I ran from her for a long time because I was like, I don't know what to do. I didn't have that training. But you know what? I really pulled on the Holy Ghost. And when she walked in, I immediately saw what she needed. And it really was like, this is you. This is what you're born to do. Because I immediately saw what she was doing wrong with her squats, with the way she used weights, and was able to incorporate actually a medicine ball in between the legs, so that way she can squeeze that as she squatted, and it helped keep her hips in alignment. And we were able to start doing squats. I helped her with her leg extensions by offering her assisted help. You know, there's so much that you can do. So I am excited to be a part of the disabled community, giving you hope and a vision that you can be strong, you can be sexy in your wheelchair and your walker. Okay. And we're going to be building up muscles, confidence, and just moving forward. You know, and one of the things also going back to silhouette body sculpting, as far as the body sculpting portion, is I never forget when I had my second child. I had a C-section. And at the hospital, they treated me like any other person. I'm bringing a life into the world. I'm excited. My kids are about 8 years apart. So I felt like a new mommy. And I never forget, they did nothing special for me. It really felt like an assembly line. Like, okay, put on your gown, let's go. They were talking while they delivered my daughter and didn't really make it personal. So when you come to me, it's always personal. You are a priority. And make sure that we have the aromatherapy, we have the candle lighting, we have the conversations, we have that intimate time, because you are a priority, you matter. And so many times we are cast off, and we're moving so fast because life is fast paced, that we don't slow down and say, how can I help me? My biggest thing is you can't pour from an empty cup. So you need that time to do that self-love. Self-love isn't selfish when it's motivated by, let me get at a peaceful place. Let me get my mind right, my body right. Let me build this confidence. Let me get myself in an area where I love me, because you can't pour from what you don't have. So that's a lot of times we're frustrated, we're angry, we're bitter, we're snapping because we've given out of an empty place. So what I love to offer with silhouette body sculpting, with all the aspects from cupping to body enhancements to personal training to fitness classes to doing the sculpting through cavitation and RF therapy, all of that is me showing you to love yourself, to fix those areas, to come in and to gain that confidence. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And that really is truly a motto.
It really is. It really is. And I think one of the things, you know, as she just said, she has 2 children. My baby is the mother of a teenage boy and an elementary school child. And she will be competing in her bikini competition. And so I am so godly proud of her and the work that she's put in. And I remember, you know, many years ago when she had started gaining weight and she had lacked so much confidence. And we kept trying to tell her how beautiful she was and, you know, how strong she was and how proud we were of her, you know, that, you know, we still thought she was beautiful. We didn't see it the way she saw it, but it's what you feel that matters. Yes. And I was so proud of her when she took the initiative and she put in the work. And in putting in that work, she immediately saw, hey, I needed help. I got help. I can help somebody else.
Yes.
And then she went into the fitness. And so I'm putting her on the spot here. I'm putting her business out because that's what aunties do. When she first started, and she started in the bodybuilding and everything, and she ran out and she wanted this gym, and she opened this gym, and we labored and opened this gym, and it was awesome. And she built it and they did not come,
Yeah.
and so the gym went under. But guess what? She didn't go under.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, whatever you do it. You fail, do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again. Because had she given up then,
yeah,
there are so many people out there that I've seen you help that would not have gotten the help if you didn't stick to it.
Yeah.
And so I say do it over and do it over and do it over, because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the people that God has placed in your life for you to serve, and so you have to come from a place of service in everything that you do. If anything that you do is simply motivated by financial gain, there's no success in that. Right. And so understand that we all have assignments. She has her assignments. I have my assignments. You have yours.
Yeah.
And I think even our hostess, Denise Newsome, she has an assignment. She's bringing all of us to a different platform, to a different arena where people can share our vision and support us in our visions, not necessarily always monetarily or in any way, but you can pray for me and pray for her, and I can pray for you. Share. You can share. You can share the video, that kind of thing. Because when somebody, you may share it, and somebody who is at the point of suicide because they were so displeased with their figure, they might say, "Okay, before I take this last step, let me give Cassie a call.
Please do.
Let me see if she can help me. Let me call Claire. Let me call John. Let me call Hack. So you never know, what we're placed here to do. And I'm so glad that you didn't give up, because I know you helped me. I know you've helped several other people, and I know that your clients are always better for having been on your table, and so I will say that, with her body sculpting, I know that her vision is big, and I know that her blessings are bigger, because I've seen her, just offer services. Just, hey, come on, just come on, just come on. Don't worry about it. Just come on. We'll score up, or in this day and age when someone says, okay, you want body sculpting, but what do you do? Let's barter.
Yeah.
You do websites.
Yeah.
Hey, I need a website. And that
that
is a place of true passion.
Yeah.
That is a place of true passion. That is, and when someone is passionate about what they truly do, there is no failure in that.
Right.
There's no failure in your passion. And so
I just want to add real quick. So just to touch on that, because sometimes it is crushing when your business fail. You put your money in. So, I had this big dream. I just became a personal trainer. I had 7 clients, and I just, I like doing things privately and intimately because, I don't like distractions. And also, sometimes when I first lost or was attempting to lose weight and I was obese, I felt very insecure. Even though I was at the gym and people probably weren't paying attention to me, I felt like the spotlight was on me. I felt like everybody's bodies were perfect. Mine wasn't. I felt like everything jiggled and people were staring at my rolls. So I just could not muster the strength to go to the gym. And so when I started my weight loss process, I was doing at-home DVDs. And I worked out in my house, and then I would walk around the block until I could build up enough courage, which was 3 months later, to go to a gym. And I know that, and I don't want people to experience that. So I want to give them a place that they can go to have that encounter. So, me being excited, jumped out there, got the building, but didn't really know marketing, didn't know business structure, didn't know finances. I didn't have a financial plan. So sometimes, yes, your business failed, but, do inventory. What happened? What didn't you know? And, when God brought it back to me, because that's a whole nother story, because I put it down, but God brought it back. And that's the thing that we talk about faith a lot. God has been such a centerpiece for me and my aunt. And it was really me coming to Jesus, coming in that prayer, coming in that intimate moment where I just wanted my life to get better. He brought back a passion and said, that's where I want you to go. And when he brought it back, it came with mentorship. It came with leadership. It came with going to classes. It came with education. It came with responsibility. It came with accountability. And so oftentimes your business may not go as well, or things may happen in life that you didn't plan for, but maybe it's time to get serious with yourself, really hold yourself accountable, do inventory, get in your prayer closet and ask God, what is it that I was missing? Because for me, it was a lack of education. My background is nursing. I was a CNA straight out of high school, straight into nursing, and that's all I knew. So I jumped out there in the business world, and I learned through, this process, there's so much to having a business and the business structure of it. You can love your services, but if you don't have the structure of the business, if you don't have that planning, it will fail. So, that's what we're here for. So a lot of times, even people have come to me that have their own businesses, and we talk about it. We talk about, do you have your website? Do you have your email? Do you, these are things that I've learned along the way. So, I'm so thankful that God has equipped me with a business, but also the ability to give back, the ability to impart on others. And that way, we all grow together. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I think, the strength of that is, you never lose. You either learn or you win.
Yeah.
And I think we've both learned, and I think we are both winning. And I think so many of you are also on that plane. And I will say, like she said, like, what can you do? One thing I'm big about is sharing information.
Yeah.
So, it's not about, hey, well, what can you do to help me, rehome people? How can I help you rehome someone?
Yeah.
How can I help you if that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you feel passionate about, but you figure like, hey, how can little old me do something about the homeless population? It's such a big deal. Ask me, I'll help you.
Yeah.
I'll help you. I'll show you how each one of us can make a difference, right? And if you're concerned about your body, if you're concerned about your health, ask her. She'll tell you, because when we're healthier, it's easier to be a blessing, right? You can't, in your sickness, you don't always find the strength to help someone else,
you're
right?
In pain.
You're not thinking about it. You're thinking about overcoming the pain. You're thinking about the challenges. You're thinking about the difficulties. You're not thinking about how can I help somebody else, right? So let us help you so that you can help someone else, and we're glad to be of service to you. We're glad to just impart into you. We're glad to share with you and to support you in what you do, because it's not about just us.
Correct.
It's not about just us. There is not enough real estate in this world, or there's way more real estate in this world than I could sell alone. It's way more bodies that need to be sculpted that she can do alone. She's actually certified to teach body sculpting classes. So if you want to learn the process and maybe start your own body sculpting business in your area, give her a call. She can actually train you to become a body sculptor and help your community.
Right.
Be a blessing to your community. I think about somebody maybe, hey, I can be a body sculptor. I can go into battered women's shelters and help battered women, give them a new lease on life, or, just somebody who has been in a fire, disfigured, somebody who's had an accident, there's something that you can do to help someone. If somebody who's down on their luck, there's something that you can do that will change their trajectory. And then that way it changes the global trajectory.
Because it's so much more, even to think about body sculpting. So for instance, a woman had, a pocket of fat underneath her arm that made it hard. Everything rubbed, it was raw, it was hurting her. And so body sculpting was able to take down that pocket of fat in that area. So now she's able to feel more comfortable. She doesn't have the chafing, the hurting, and the body rubbing that she experienced before. So there's so many ways that you can do things. And also with the cupping therapy. Cupping is phenomenal. It helps to repair muscles. It helps to bring blood flow. It helps to relieve pain. So there's so many things within both our businesses that we'd love to talk to you about, so you can find your groove. You can find, hey, I like the way this sounds. Tell me more about that. So we definitely encourage you. We love this opportunity to speak to you all and share a little bit about our personalities and our businesses. And feel free to, we're accessible.
We are. And we just want to say our time with you is up for tonight, but we want to thank you for those of you who are watching us live. We want to thank you for those of you who will watch the replay, for those of you who will hopefully share and let someone else who didn't have the opportunity to see the play, the broadcast, to replay it themselves. We want to definitely thank Denise Newsome for the opportunity, and Derek White, who is the engineer, who is phenomenal.
Yes,
he talked us through it because we were on the ledge and he talked us through it. We thank both of them for making this happen. And it all happens here on the Denise Newsome Show. And we hope you join us again, and all her other guests.
Yes.
Thank you, and have an awesome night.
Thank you for tuning in to this evening's broadcast. The Denise Newsome Show, the show that gives credit where credit is due, has a new monthly show schedule. New show times are as follows. The first Monday of the month will be a powerful word of God. The second Monday is In Your Element, where our guests share their gifts and talents. On the third Monday, join the ladies of Mask Off, where authentic conversations happen, with our hostesses Denise Newsome, Sybil Price-Rucker, and Deirdre Moody. And on the fourth Monday is Sitting with Denise. All show times are from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share at the Denise Newsome Show. Increase your brand's awareness by advertising with the Denise Newsome Show. Let Denise help you to get your message out. She offers a 30-second video commercial or voiceover flyer with your information. Contact Denise at denisenewsome.com or email her at denisenewsome64@gmail.com for more information. Help the Denise Newsome Show give credit where credit is due. You can contact Denise today at www.denisenewsome.com or by emailing her at denisenewsome64@gmail.com with a love offering or sponsorship gift to help her keep the show running. You are appreciated at the Denise Newsome Show, and she looks forward to hearing from you. The views and opinions expressed in the content or comments on the Denise Newsome Show are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by the Denise Newsome Show. Next week on the Denise Newsome Show, where authentic conversation happens, is Mask Off with guest hosts Sybil Price-Rucker and Deirdre Moody. Don't miss it.